apparently being pulled over and being found in possession of drugs can lead police to the authority of obtaining a warrant to come search your home. The Platoon 420 reported it, of course, from the perspective of the victim in this case. Traffic stop in Louisiana leads to home invasion and kidnapping. Folks, if you are taken by force without committing any acts of violence towards another, then you are being kidnapped, not detained. Let's please be real in 2020 in our verbiage. The original report came out of Fox News 12 in Texas. It says, Denison man arrested in a major drug bust. This article was published by Stan Smith on Tuesday, February the 4th. It says, on Thursday, Terrence Lee was arrested after law enforcement got a tip he was selling various types of drugs from his apartment. The Sherman Police Department, U.S. Marshal Service, along with Denison PD, did a traffic stop on the individual after watching him under surveillance for a while, said Lieutenant Mike Epper with Denison Police. Let me rephrase what this article meant to say, again, in the correct verbiage that we all should be using. They conducted a traffic stop on the individual after watching him under surveillance for a while. Now, this is a quote directly from the police. So based on a random complaint, a phone call that could have come from anybody, a disgruntled ex-employee, a disgruntled ex-girlfriend, somebody who's just vindictive and wants to make your life a living hell, because let's face it, folks, there are actually a lot of those people out there in this world, unfortunately, makes a phone call to the Denison State Police and says, hey, man, my homeboy over here, he's dealing drugs. You might want to keep an eye on him. So the police department then goes on. Now, this man has not been accused of any violence, simply of dealing a substance. So the police department utilizes your tax dollars to go ahead and stalk this guy for who knows how long and then conduct an illegal traffic stop. That's what they meant to say. After stalking the victim for an unknown period of time, the Denison Police Department decided to illegally pull him over and shake him down. The article goes on to say when they pulled Lee over, they found marijuana and cocaine in his car, which led law enforcement to getting a search warrant of his apartment. In the 37 years that I have been on this planet, you can't convince me that finding drugs on an individual or in their vehicle gives you probable cause to get a piece of paper that allows you to illegally, in my opinion, unwarranted, enter somebody's property. And I think we all know what happens in instances of raids. I mean, they destroy everything. Your sheets come off, your drawers come out, your clothes they dig through your panty drawer. Everything gets pretty much destroyed. If you've got food in your refrigerator, it may get thrown on the floor because God knows if that's really mayonnaise or pasty cocaine in your fridge, right? Let me settle down. You guys, this is getting real. So when I say that we are all soldiers, here's a perfect example right now. Based off a tip. This happened once before back in Salem, Massachusetts. I remember them teaching me about it in school. Maybe you guys are familiar. But if a little old lady said, oh my gosh, that woman over there with a black cat and a cauldron who's utilizing natural medicine and keeping up with planetary alignment, she's a witch. And the courts would be like, well, shit, let's burn her. Obviously, the neighbor said she's utilizing, witchcraft and crazy stuff. So she could possibly, there's a hair of a possibility she could be a danger to this society. So let's just kill her. That doesn't make us dangerous to society. Do you guys understand here? Do you see the parallel? Simply based off anonymous tips made to the police that could be coming from anywhere. They could even be coming from a wife of a police officer or a buddy. because they want to get this guy. They get to pull you over, and not only that, I mean, it's bad enough they can pull you over after stalking you, but then they get to go search your house. You are a soldier. You never know when you get pulled over what could happen. And for those of you who don't drive around with illegal substances in your car, how many times have you heard stories of police officers in different states? This is not an isolated incident. Planting drugs in vehicles at traffic stops. None of us are immune to the tyranny here. And I don't want to generalize and say that all police do this, but enough have done it that it has become known in the media, and we all know that what we know in the mainstream media is a fraction of what is actually going on.